Thank you, three speakers, for your fairly lucid talk. I mean, I'm not a great summarizer because I've never done anything which I thought it's more academic people do this kind of stuff. But I've taken enough points for me to kind of put together a short story around these. I felt there were three diverse areas were covered. One was more the theoretical aspects of the sustainability and ecofeminism as spoken by Shireen. Then we had Ram speaking about the industry and corporate aspects of where that sustainability is being driven. And lastly, the so-called spiritual angle to it and how to kind of mitigate those issues. So obviously there were diverse topics, but then obviously they have a connect in a sense how to kind of largely address that aspect. Naomi spoke about ecofeminism relating to gender justice and environment justice, and how women face more vulnerable issues in the climate change aspect. She spoke about the theoretical aspects of ecofeminism, tracing it back to the Western discourse, which is probably how the whole thing came about, and how human activity is causing a lot of environmental changes, according to US climate change reports. And she also spoke about the non-Western approach to address the ecofeminism issue, the spiritual aspects, which I think are very relevant in the modern day context. And also spoke about in context of what Vittal said about how the media narratives need to be control in order to address the issue of ecofeminism. Ram's topic obviously was very relevant to the world we live in terms of how the emissions in the battery industry, which were hitherto causing a lot of issues, especially in the context of the Bhopal incident, and how the industry has gone about making a lot of changes to address that issue. It was heartening to know that 20% of the CEO's time is spent on in the industry on environment issues. I guess probably it needs to be a lot more, given the fact we're moving toward electric vehicles, which obviously are also going to have a lot of battery being used. Maybe the lithium part may be more eco-friendly, but I guess I'm sure as time goes, we'll probably have more time being needed to be spent. He spoke about the industry drivers for sustainability, drivers from business compulsions to survive, and how to lower the cost of sourcing, and also, stick on to the laws and compliance, and what the industry is doing for environment sustainability, which is the three mantras of refuse, reduce, and recycle. I think refuse is something which is probably difficult to kind of accept because everybody wants to, I guess, from a capitalistic world, wants to make money. So it's very difficult to kind of take that stance and say refuse, I won't adopt. Like, for example, talked of thermocol, maybe the industries adopted it, but many other industries probably find it difficult to make a refuse as a paradigm to take on. Yes, reduce is something which definitely industries can consider, surely, because that will help them kind of look at alternative ways of addressing that issue. And recycle, yes, it's something which the industry is looking at in a big way. And I like the piece about the connection to peace and justice, where he talked of, on one side, how the industry is giving careers and innovations, which is necessary. And the other side, the kind of contribution the industry is making towards, things like water, environmental friendly ecosystem, and landfalls and greenland, and so on and so forth. On the whole, very heartening to know the industry is changing. I hope all industries do make such changes. I think the power sector is one industry which probably needs to do a lot of changes. And probably the hydrocarbon industry, where cars are coming up in different ways, and so on and so forth. Lastly, Mahesh's talk, something which is close to all our hearts as devotees of Sri Sadguru. The Upadeshams are always something which we all read every day, because we do get daily Upadeshams on our WhatsApp channels. But to break it down and into a form which is kind of related to the sustainability of environment is something which was heartening to hear from Mahesh. I had heard this presentation earlier too. At that point of time, I didn't kind of sit through. But sitting here, I had to go through it intently because I had to summarize. So obviously, there's a better understanding of what it was than what I heard last time. But the paradigm which he suggested about, the thing of leading from one foundation through to thought of use to state of the mind, thinking, motivation, choices, action, and goals, I think is an interesting paradigm. And I think at each stage, the Upadeshans do become relevant. I think there are different aspects of different Upadeshans which are very relevant. But in the context of this Upadesham, I think there's a lot to be understood and learned. So, and how it basically helps in inner transformation and, focus on the core transformation of individuals, which probably lead to, as I call, personal sustainability, which is part of the larger, in the larger piece, a very important aspect. There are a few other things like he spoke about, the internal and external aspects of the framework of sustainable development. How the internal aspects being the spiritual aspect and the external one being market ethics and the legal frameworks. So all in all, something which I enjoyed quite a bit because in the context of what we all go through on a day-to-day basis, I think a lot of relevance. Hopefully it all gives us, it's a small stepping stone, but I guess we all probably need to take those baby steps to basically not use this framework. Even if you don't use the framework, I think they do are relevant. But coming from a corporate world where we deal with paradigms and models and all that stuff, I think is something which touches our core. We do understand that better. So with that, I'll end my summary. Thank you so much.